Welcome to the France Campus Tour 2024. As part of this campus tour, we are visiting several universities in France, and today we are at the ESCP Business School. ESCP is one of the most prestigious business schools in France and across Europe. Today, Sunoon Azeez, a current Masters in Management student here, showed us around the campus and is going to share his honest feedback about this school. So, let's get started with his interview. So today we have Sunoon with us. He is a Masters in Management student here at ESCP. ESCP is one of the most global and I would say international schools here in Europe, and it is also a top ranked one. So let's hear from him about his experiences at ESCP. So thank you so much for being here today, and I'm gonna bore you with a series of questions. So thank you for bearing with me. So the first question I had for you was about the campus and the facilities. Can you tell me more about it, because I know like there are a lot of campuses in France and in Europe, so can you just maybe elaborate on that?
Sure. The campus you just saw, it's a secondary campus that we have here, because the primary campus that we had, it's under renovation for a few years, so it's a temporary campus as of now. So in basically in Paris, we had around three campuses, and the one is closed. So we have two campuses now, and this one is basically for bachelor's in management and masters in the flagship masters in management program. And we also have another campus pretty much center of the city in Montparnasse area, which is for executive education, MBA, and the other MSc programs. So these are the two campuses which is functioning in Paris now. Apart from France, we also have another five campus across Europe, like one in UK, London, another in Berlin, Madrid, Turin, and Warsaw. So all six campuses together. We also have a office campus in Dubai under the Dubai Future Foundation, which has just recently started like last year. It's not fully functional, but they just started it last year. So it was a kind of it was a European school, but now it's there on a transformation from a European school to a global school now.
That's amazing. Like six campuses in total, and now one in Dubai as well. So that's superb. And he also went to the Madrid campus. So ESCP, most of the programs at ESCP are quite well structured, where you can actually go to different campuses and experience those cities and countries as well. So can you maybe share your experience at Madrid?
Yes. So it's basically ESCP mandate us to go to at least one campus outside of your home campus. So I started here in Paris, and I had to do another semester somewhere else, either of one of these five campuses. So I chose Madrid because the courses which we are looking for, like all the campuses have some specialty courses. So the courses which which I was looking for, was like in Madrid. So I moved to Madrid in my second semester, which was, I would say, was a great experience there. Like Madrid as a city, as a campus, it's a small, suburb campus there, which was great. And so is all the campuses across Europe too. So like all of them had like really good courses specialized to these campuses. So that's pretty much cool. Like you can choose to have either two campuses or three or four. It's your decision to do that. Like you can just move around in all semesters, or you can just move to one and then come back to home campus, or you can do 1 year at one campus and the second year at second campus. So it's like it's a bit more flexible academically, and it gives you more freedom of movement across Europe. So you also have this opportunity to be at different countries, explore those career opportunities these countries as well.
That's amazing. So what he means is that you can do every semester in a new city or a country, and it's absolutely free. Like there's no additional tuition fee that you pay. Depending on the specialization of that campus, you can go there. So and he went to like Madrid, for example. He could have done more if he wanted to. So that's that. I think this is like the USP of ESCP, especially because it is one of the only business schools which has like so many good campuses at top cities. So that's great. So my next question was about the top popular programs here at ESCP. Can you mention a few and maybe tell us the ones that are really reputed here in France and across Europe?
Right. So the most popular program would be the MIM, Grand Ecole Master in Management program. It's kind of the flagship program that we have here. And talking about reputation, it's the most reputed program. Like when you talk about ESCP, it's MIM as of now. But there are a lot more courses coming up. Like for example, there are more MSc courses which are offering now, including in marketing or in consulting and in digital tech and AI. So, for example, MSc in marketing creativity, it's getting very popular now these days. And in consulting, there's like consulting and project management goes, and in digital, it's like big data and AI, which is also very popular now. So these courses are coming up. It's getting very popular, and these MSc courses are also getting a bit more popular. So, but definitely the most reputed one would be the MIM program now here.
So MIM is huge here at ESCP. It's very, very well reputed, and like most MIM grads end up getting like decent jobs, I would say. And yeah, even if you go across Europe and if you tell anyone that you've done like an MIM from ESCP, it's gonna sound huge. But it's not just that. Like he said, there are very interesting courses and like interesting specializations like marketing, creativity, or consulting, which is like not really an MSc when you look at other top universities. So my next question to you was about like the academics here at ESCP. Can you maybe shed some light on the curriculum, how it is designed, if there are exchange programs, and so on?
Right. What I feel is like the curriculum, the academics is like pretty well designed, and it could be one of the reasons which I chose ESCP over like a few other schools which was in my priority list. So basically, like they have a huge, huge pool of specialization which we can go for. Like it's very diverse. You can go to any streams, you can change your streams in between. So it's pretty comfortable that way. Also the academics is kind of very flexible. Like you can choose to, after first year you can choose to do an internship for a year and then go back to school, or even you can choose to do an internship for one semester and go back to school. So it's like it's very flexible. You like after first year you do you it's basically you just have to finish it in 4 years. So you can either do a 2 year internship or 1 year or half a semester or something like that. So it's pretty much flexible. And apart like going more into academics or the curriculum, like the specializations, like most, like obviously there are like really good specialization and decent ones too. And the good ones is like pretty challenging as well. Like it actually makes you thrive in that sector which you're going for. Like for example, if you go for a consulting one, like apart from just academics or the lectures, you also have the case studies which are external partners, which are like these consulting firms actually approach you for these external cases and everything. So it's like you get to have a hands-on experience on that, which I found it like very helpful, which also give you a bit of network on in these sectors when you have external partners, right?
Okay, that's interesting. And I think the USP is the flexibility, the amount of specializations, and it's literally like you don't have to think and come here. The program for you is to figure out your career. If you don't know what you want to do, like in that case, MIM would be like great. You can first do general courses and then do a specialization. You can, take up an internship the moment you want, and so on, right? So it's super interesting how the curriculum is designed. Whether it's challenging or not depends on the specialization you've chosen and if the school excels in it or not. So that's that about the curriculum. Moving on to the next question, can you shed some light on the career service center here at ESCP?
Right. The Career Center, I would say it's pretty much proactive. It's actually good. They do a lot of activities all around the year. Every month there will be at least 10 to 15 events, like network events, or presentations or company visits or these kind of things. It's pretty much proactive. And all the campuses, like the Paris campus, we have a specialized Paris career service center here, and so is like other campuses too. Like all the campuses have their own career centers, and they all do like independent events. Like if they're online events, all of the campus students from all of the campus can attend those. So it's pretty much good. Like they are very involved. They pretty try to involve the students in that. Unlike India, it's like the service centers, they don't spoon feed you. Like you have to thrive through these things. You have to take an initiative in your own. You have to attend these events on your own. Like no one's gonna put you in pressure. No one's gonna push you in those. It's like the more efforts you put, the better the results would be for you. So it's like you have to do it on yourself. Everything, whatever. Like they'll be giving you the windows to go for, like the options you have to go for, but you'll have to choose what to do, how exactly to be successful in that. So it's like you have to struggle through all these things, but that will have a good results at the end.
That's interesting. And it's not like in India, like you said, they don't have placements. Most international schools don't have it, but they definitely have created an ecosystem for internationals to thrive. There are options to go and meet companies and career fairs and talk to them and give your CV, and maybe you can land a position. Having said that, it's not very easy, but if you keep, trying, there's definitely a chance for you to land an internship and eventually a job, especially because the reputation of ESCP is really good. All right. So let's move on to the next question. The question is about like overall reputation of ESCP. So we know that it's super popular here in France. It's a big thing. Most employers are happy to recruit you guys. But what is their reputation like across Europe? And maybe let's say if you go back to India.
Right. Well, talking about the reputation here in Paris or in France, like I think I should mention the alumni network here too, because it's one of the biggest benefits that you get into when you get into ESCP. The alumni network of around 80,000 active alumni. So like all these companies in Paris, like in France or in other countries, they have like they will be having a group of alumni from ESCP. So basically, like the reputation is very well, like very good in all these countries. Right. As I said, it's very reputed here in France or across Europe. But when I have to talk about India, I wouldn't say the same about the reputation in India or in Asia, like out of Europe.
Right.
So it's most basically when I was doing my research about MIM programs or the programs you have to do in management. Like before the research, I didn't even knew about ESCP. It was a pretty new school to me. But when you do the research, you know about it. So it's basically when you go back to India, the reputation won't be as good as here in Europe. But again, the people who are working in the sector or people who know about it will be like they'll know. So it's like for the ones who know, it's a pretty good school wherever it is.
All right. So, like you said, like European schools are not marketed well, like the American ones are. But when you see like the shift in the CV, like let's say he has been to Madrid, he's lived there. He might live in another country for his next internship or for his job. And when you look at like overall profile and all the specializations that he has done, the experience is clearly visible, and that's what really builds the reputation over time, and that's what actually will get him jobs. So at the end of the day, it's not really like whether it's reputed in India or not. It's definitely reputed here. So if someone knows, like you said, they would definitely know what it means to be at ESCP. It's extremely competitive to get into the specific program that he is in, and most other top popular programs here. So definitely it's well reputed, not as much in India like American schools, but definitely worth it at the end of the day when you've done all these things that the school ecosystem has offered you, right? Makes sense. So all right, thank you so much for sparing some time for us today, and let's move on to the next segment of the video about masters in management specifically. That's all for this video. We have made another video specially for masters in management at ESCP. Do check it out. Also, I help students get into the world's best universities. If you're looking for a buddy in your study abroad journey, feel free to reach out to me. And don't forget to like and subscribe.